Today's episode of the Credit Pirates is brought to you by credilife. One evening, while sipping coffee at a local diner, Bill and Earl would stumble upon an idea that would change the financial world forever. They realized that banks, lenders, and insurance companies often used personal judgment when deciding who to lend money to. What if they thought a mathematical and data-driven approach could standardize these decisions?
In 1956, with just $400 and a small office in San Rafael, California, the two men founded Fair Isaac and Company, later known as FICO scores. FICO scores changed everything.
Ahoy, mateys! Welcome aboard the Credit Pirates. I'm Captain Jeremy with my quartermaster Derek.
Arr, and me, Bones Buggy.
Today we're going to be talking about the treasure chest of credit scores, what credit scores are, and why they matter.
Before we hoist the sails, here's a fun fact. The average FICO score in the United States is a 717.
Arr, 717. If a number don't have a comma, I don't respect it.
Bones, your credit score will never have a comma. They only go to 850. But tell me in the comments below, what's your favorite way to track your credit score? Quartermaster Derek, where are we headed today?
Here's today's map to the treasure. What are credit scores? Why do credit scores matter? And how can you keep your credit score healthy?
This is CNN.
Ahoy there, folks. Welcome to this week's CNN Scallywag of the Week, the part of the show where we troll the murky depths of social media to dredge up the most rotten credit advice floating about. Some of these so-called tips are so off course they'd scuttle your finances quicker than a ship hitting a reef. Others may sparkle like treasure but turn out to be nothing more than fool's gold, ready to sink unsuspecting sailors. But worry not. We're here at the helm to guide ye true and keep your financial ship steady. So let's dive into this week's Scallywag, who's made a real mess of credit waters.
Arr, seriously? CNN? A pun be like a treasure. You groan when you find it, but you can't help but smile at the booty.
Today's Scallywag of the Week is going to teach us how to fix your credit the street.
How do I sit here and fix my credit? I've ruined my life. I got to charge off repossession.
I think what she's trying to say is, ladies and gentlemen sit there and they're wondering how to fix their credit. Okay, that's what we're going to go with here.
I've made a few mistakes over the course of my life, and I'm just wondering, how can I fix these errors?
Yes, fine, distinguished people are often sitting there and wondering, how do I fix my credit? She's going.
How do I sit here and fix my credit? I've ruined my life. I got to charge off repossession, bankruptcy, late payment. This how you gonna claim identity theft on all that?
Whoa! Wait! I think she's saying this is the proper way for your credit restoration to transpire. I think that's what we're going with here.
I've ruined my life. I got to charge off
sure
repossession, bankruptcy, late payment. This how you gonna fucking you're gonna go claim identity theft on all that. You ain't that information was exposed in the data breach.
I'm taking notes here. How do you spell?
You're not going to want to claim identity theft when there hasn't been identity theft. She also mentioned, go figure.
Interesting concept. There's no identity theft if there actually wasn't identity theft.
Now,
I'm starting to connect the dots here. This is amazing.
So the ways to claim identity theft involve an FTC, that's Federal Trade Commission, fraud affidavit. So you are actually telling the federal government that there has been fraud, which they will investigate. And with that, a police report should accompany it. So you're telling the police that there's been identity theft. And she mentioned data breach. Okay, data breaches can expose your credit information, but unless something was opened up fraudulently in your name, that's not something that you should ever do. Let's get back to our scallywag.
Have ChatGPT make you a letter. I did not make these accounts. I didn't touch this account. I didn't open this account. This account is not mine. Have ChatGPT.
If you're going to have ChatGPT, which is a super powerful tool, and I do recommend using it for a lot of things, I strongly recommend that you don't tell ChatGPT to make a letter that says, I didn't do that.
I've done a
Instead,
lot of different prompts in ChatGPT, but I've never told it I never did that.
you want to keep it professional. You're dealing with the credit bureaus. You can ask it to make a letter addressing things in your credit profile. That's perfectly fine. But don't have it make a letter saying this is fraud unless you are actually a victim of fraud.
Again, this is not legal advice. We're only pirates.
Don't take legal advice from pirates.
Then you're gonna pull your
continue our
smart credit
scallywag.
report. I don't give a go Credit Karma. I don't know. You need your account, your account number, the day it was open, so you can put it all on there. Give that ChatGPT so they can make your dispute letter. Print that.
That is the only true piece of advice in here. You need to have a good credit monitoring. You can use Smart Credit. You can use my800credit.com. She did say Credit Karma. Credit Karma is better than a poke in the eye with a stick. But as most of us know, and those of you who follow the Credit Pirates know, Credit Karma only gives you part of 2 bureaus, and it uses a Vantage scoring model, not the lending model, the FICO score. But the one piece of good advice is that you do need a full credit report. Now, if you don't have the money for a full credit report, just go to annualcreditreport.com. It allows you to pull a free bureau from Equifax, a free report from TransUnion, a free one from Experian. And then you identify the accounts, the account numbers, and you say, ChatGPT, please make me a letter including all of this. You put that in there. And yes, ChatGPT can work. You can also use some of the resources on thecreditpirates.com. And we have additional resources if you're one of our Patreon backers available for members, link below in the box. But let's get back to our scallywag.
Identitytheft.gov. Exactly what that says. I just told you guys.
Identitytheft.gov. Again, that's the site to use if actual identity theft has taken place. Remember, you're going to a .gov site and you're telling the federal government that I've had identity theft.
Indians and the Nigerians, $100 to make your LTC report. It don't matter to me. Just go ahead.
Who are
exactly
you
what that says. I just told you, you gotta do the identity theft. Go ahead and make your LTC report, or your ass can go on Fiverr and pay the Indians and the Nigerians $100 to make your LTC report. It don't.
Do not ever give your social security number and your credit information to somebody over the phone from Nigeria or from India. For example, when they call you and they say they're from the IRS and they'd like you to pay them in Apple iTunes gift cards, don't do that either.
Just go ahead and do
careful.
So you got your ID, your bill, your SSN, you use bank statement, Wi-Fi bill. I don't give a LTC report, ChatGPT letter, then you upload it directly to the bureaus. If you can't upload directly to the bureau, you're gonna just go ahead and just mail the
Make sure you mail them your
ChatGPT. Y'all be asking ChatGPT all the other stupid. How about you ask them how to fix your credit?
Quartermaster Derek, why do you insist on doing this to me every week?
Well, I mean, you can't lose any more hair, so I figured.
All right, this is how it's gonna go. 4 weeks, right? Really, it's gonna be 4 days.
4 weeks.
4 days. You're gonna see your score. You're gonna go on Credit Karma. It's gonna
4 days.
20, 30 points. It's gonna be
4 days, not weeks. Wait, 4 days.
4 days.
Right?
We'll just get back.
Really, it's gonna be 4 days. 4 days. You're gonna see your score. You're gonna go on Credit Karma. It's gonna increase 20, 30 points. It's gonna be like, cool. I'll take that.
So in 4 days, you're gonna go on Credit Karma after you sent your LTC report to Nigeria and the federal government. You'll go on and with the help of ChatGPT, you're going to see your score go up 20, 30 points in 4 days. Okay.
On Credit Karma.
On Credit Karma.
You're going to see
2 weeks, you're going to be like,
perfect.
But make sure you have to tell yourself.
Yes.
The most important part she said right there, you got to tell yourself, okay, I'm cool with that.
You're cool with that?
If you don't tell yourself that, the process just doesn't work. You got to tell yourself, I'm cool with that.
Always sound advice from
20, 30 points. Gonna be like, cool, I'll take that. Then in 2 weeks, you're gonna be like, just did it again. Then you're gonna double back, right? You're gonna double back. You're gonna do a TransUnion sweep.
Double back.
I may lose some of y'all. While you waiting on those disputes, you're gonna do a TransUnion.
Oh, you lost this a long time ago.
You're gonna do that light stream play. Get that 35,000 into your account, right? So you go ahead and you.
A TransUnion sweep, well, credit sweeps in general are also illegal on the federal level. So we've got recommendations to claim fraud on things that aren't fraudulent. File a federal fraud affidavit on things that aren't fraudulent. Portray that to the credit bureaus, which are governed under the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is federal law. Do that as well. You're going to say everything's not yours. You're going to send these off somehow in 4 days. You're going to go up 20 to 30 points on Credit Karma. In 2 weeks, you're going to go up to another 20 to 30 points on Credit Karma. Then you're going to double back and do a TransUnion sweep and commit major fraud. And I'm not even going to tell you what the other one is because it's theft. But
pay off your credit card,
scallywag.
Or you can remove and hide utilization by literally.
Absolutely. Steal $5,000 and pay off your credit card debt. Continue.
At the bureaus and literally just call it removing the accounts. It's up to you. I say pay them.
Call them, just remove them. I say pay them too, but with your own money. It's remarkable how your credit can improve if you pay your debts on time.
I say pay them and do the live stream play. But there's 2 ways you go about it. I'm trying to teach you how to legally scam.
2 ways.
Here's my favorite.
You're trying to teach us to legally scam.
Legally scam. Yep. That's the street
legally
way.
Scam is the street way. I think the first piece of advice is TikTok may not necessarily always be the best source for good, legal, compliant credit information. Would you agree with that?
I'd lean to that side of things. Yeah, I'd say that the majority of time I wouldn't go straight to TikTok and say, "Hey, tell me how to do this."
And when you're looking for good, compliant, FICO-driven credit advice, don't take it from someone sitting in their car. Take it from someone dressed up as a pirate. Picture this. You found your dream car. You negotiated the price. The salesman even complimented your savvy. And you're feeling on top of the world as you sit down to finalize the deal. Just then, the financing manager comes over and tells you, "I'm sorry, your loan got denied because of your credit score." Just like that, the deal you worked so hard for is out of reach. All of the research, negotiating, and planning can't overcome a number you hadn't been paying attention to. Now imagine a different ending. This time, your score is strong, and the deal goes through without a hitch. You drive away, not just with the car, but with the satisfaction of knowing you've unlocked the full potential of your financial power. That's why credit scores matter. They're the foundation for turning dreams into reality.
All right, crew, raise your hooks if you think all credit scores are calculated the same way. Let's break it down so every pirate can understand.
What are credit scores? A credit score is a number that represents your credit worthiness, essentially how likely you are to repay money you borrow. Lenders, such as banks or credit card companies, use credit scores to decide whether to approve loans or credit, and to determine terms like interest rates. Why do credit scores exist? Risk assessment. Lenders use credit scores to quickly assess the risk of lending money to someone. A higher score means you're less likely to default on payments, while a lower score suggests greater risk. Fairness. Credit scores standardize how lenders evaluate borrowers. Instead of relying on subjective factors, scores use consistent criteria based on your financial history. Efficiency. By summarizing your credit history into a single number, credit scores make loan decisions faster and easier for lenders. Not all credit scores are created equal because different companies calculate different credit scores in different ways, and lenders might use different scoring models depending on their needs. And here's why. The 2 most common scoring models are FICO and VantageScore, but each has their own way of calculating your credit score. Even within one model like FICO, there are multiple versions tailored to specific industries, such as mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards. There are 3 major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Each bureau might have slightly different information about your credit history, which can result in different scores. Scoring ranges can vary. Most scores range from 300 to 850, but some industry-specific scores may use different ranges. So what's the purpose of a credit score? Well, some credit scores are designed exclusively for lenders, while others are educational scores provided to consumers for general understanding and may not reflect what lenders see. So why does this all matter? If you check your credit score and it's different from what a lender sees, that's normal. What matters most is the key factors affecting your score and maintaining good financial habits, as they will improve all types of credit scores over time.
They'd never know we had cue cards.
So Derek, why do credit scores matter?
Because they're tied into almost all of your daily bills. They're tied into when you apply for or want to go buy a new cell phone, whether you're going to get approved for the payments to finance that $1,500 phone, your insurance rates, when you get a new car, how much you're going to pay for that car and whether you can afford the monthly payment. And you're obviously the biggest expense you're going to have is when you go to buy your first house.
I'm telling you, yeah, that's one thing I always tell people is just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should. Like you can do a mortgage at a 580 FICO score. They can get that through on an FHA pretty quickly. But the thing is, the amount you're going to pay in mortgage insurance, the amount you'll end up paying for rate, and all these other things make it really expensive. Where if you just waited a little bit, if you'd waited till you were 640, a 680, a 720, with a little bit of credit repair, a little bit of credit development, you can save a ton of money. One of the other reasons scores matter so much is a small difference in score on a car can work out to a lot of money.
And what it turns into, especially when you're buying a car, is you walk into a dealership thinking, I can afford $500 a month.
Right.
If you have that mentality and your credit sucks, instead of getting it financed for 48 months, now you've stretched it out for 84 months because you're shopping by your price that you can afford. Absolutely. And not by what's best for you financially.
And don't think for 1 second the car salespeople don't see that one coming. It's a huge,
and they salivate. They love that they're going to get them. The finance department loves you.
Absolutely. It's a huge profit opportunity. Credit's used for everything these days, and not just the things you think about, the cars, the mortgages, but they're using it for background checks for jobs. They look at your credit score. They're using it for insurance rates, car insurance. You could have the same wheels. You could have the same zip code, same age, same, driving history as the person next to you, same car. But if you've got different credit scores, one of you is paying more, one of you is paying less.
One thing that I like to discuss with when I go to colleges and speak with university students, no one really talks about the fact that doctors and lawyers have to have malpractice insurance, and that is tied to your credit score also.
Super expensive. It can be super expensive.
How would you like to go through medical school, graduate, think you're going to get a job as a doctor and be uninsurable?
That would suck. One of the reasons to get good credit and have a good credit score in the first place is there are a lot of opportunities. There's your 0% interest cards. There's Sky Miles. There are all these other perk things that you can get with a lot of lenders out there that you would not get, with a lower credit score.
One of my favorite things is if you've got a 680 or above, that you're going to have an opportunity to get a 0 interest balance transfer card. Most of the people that really need it are in the low sixes and mid fives. And they're the ones that really need that opportunity to get that 0% interest for an extended period of time to get their credit or their debt paid down. But it's only really reserved for those that have good credit in the first place.
Well, they call it the golden rule. The ones who have the gold, they make the rules. Another opportunity that comes your way if you've got high credit, you can get investment property that you wouldn't get with a lower credit score. So you can start cash flowing it. You can start building a nest egg. You can start building a retirement. You can pass property on to the kids.
Yeah, I don't want to turn the conversation into good debt versus bad debt, but if you understand that, a good credit score is going to allow you to maximize that potential and turn that debt into a revenue stream, which is obviously a good thing.
How can you keep your credit score healthy?
Make your payments on time.
Honest to God, that's it. So the ways to keep your credit score healthy: pay your bills, pay on time, pay at all, right? Don't use all of the available credit that you've got. Don't max your credit cards. Don't charge up to the limit, because that's just going to hurt your score.
At the very least, I have it set up on auto payment to make payment of the minimum payment every single month, so that if something happens and I forget to make a payment, it's automatically done for me. So there's no such thing as late payments.
Here, one of the things I always say about auto pay is, what's the worst that's going to happen? If you have a $50 payment coming out of your bank account, typically they'll allow that to go through and charge you an overdraft fee of $25, $35. But if you don't make your credit card payment on time, they're going to charge you a late fee of 25 or 35 bucks, and they're going to report a late on your credit report. So in this scenario, you're taking a punch, right? The question becomes, where do you want it? The shoulder or the groin? Well, let's talk about some of the best ways to track your score and track your progress. There are two main credit monitoring companies I like to recommend to people, but there are other free tools out there. There's your Credit Karmas, which is better than nothing. There's the Experian app. There are you can get FICO scores on your credit card. A lot of times FICO scores from your bank on loans. There are a lot of good ways to track your score. And really the biggest mistake you could probably make is not tracking it at all.
Your score only matters when you go to use it. So I've got so many people that are constantly, hey, why did my score go up this day? Why did it go down this day? I look at it once every 30 days for a reason. You're going to go insane trying to figure out why it's going up, why it's going down. Just know, pay your bills on time, utilize single digits utilization throughout the month and pay it off on a regular basis. And the math formula is going to make sure your score is fine.
It's good advice. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's an algorithm. It's a math formula. And, the thing is, if you check your score too often, you start panicking about it went up 3 points today, it went down 4 points yesterday, that type of thing. I have a word for it. I call it scoreanxiety. It's the anxiety from constantly tracking your score on things like Credit Karma and stuff like that. So while it's important to track your score and to know your score and to understand your score, it's not the only thing out there. Right? Don't let it rule your life. Don't let it stress you out. The minute it's becoming a stress for you, it's time to take a breath. It's time to step back. It's time to do something else. So if you're getting yourself all anxious, checking your score every day, if it's starting to stress you out, it's just time to take a step back and, do something like watch the Credit Pirates or subscribe below or like or share it on your page or invite other people to like the Credit Pirates. In fact, most of the things you should do really involve the Credit Pirates. Quartermaster Derek and I have been wondering, which credit habit are you personally rocking right now? Are you paying on time? Are you paying down balances? Are you tracking your credit every day? Let us know in the comments below which credit habit you're completely rocking.
Never check your score. Ignorance be the best treasure.
Hey, Captain, we've got a crew member of the day. Bob Smith asks, what's the lowest credit score someone can have, and what's the highest credit score someone can have?
Awesome question, Bob. Well, I'll tell you, for FICO scores, the lowest score you can have is a 300, and the highest you can have is an 850. But like we talked about earlier, there are a bunch of different scoring models, Vantage Score and FICO Score being the largest of them. So while these models not only differ from each other in how they weigh the importance of different things that go into your credit, they also have their own scoring ranges. So don't be surprised if you see a credit score of 900 and you're scratching your head going, I thought FICO only went to 850. Like we said earlier, not all scores are created equal.
Today, everything is impacted by credit. So it's absolutely vital to understand how credit works in order to achieve financial freedom.
This is why we started credilife, so that we can empower others to shift their money mindset and access better investment and credit opportunities.
We want to maximize your buying power and allow you to take control of your financial future. With our programs and strategies, we can expedite the process of improving your credit profile and credit score.
Despite what many believe, how we manage our money is far more important than how much money we make.
A lot of people are concerned about their ability to qualify for a mortgage, lowering their interest rates, or just managing their debt.
Through our coaching programs and our trademark Credit Builder Blueprint, our clients not only save money and lower their interest rates, but learn how to get out of debt and finally achieve peace of mind.
We don't just support our clients' financial goals, we educate and empower them to create long-term strategies.
If you're trying to buy a home, start a new business, get a loan, get out of debt, or just want to improve your credit score, visit us online and fill out the contact request form.
Here's how to improve your credit score the pirate way.
But Captain, that's not street style.
Be patient. Building credit takes time. Focus on consistent positive behavior over the long term.
Arr, I keep an eye out.
Track your credit score. use free tools or apps.
Versus the ones that will cost you all your booty.
Watch for score changes and don't sweat the small stuff.
Captain, would that be street style?
Quartermaster Derek, do we have any viewer mail today?
We do. Sam writes in.
Wait a minute. So Sam sent us a letter before our first episode? Sam, what be tomorrow's lottery numbers?
He says, Dear crew, I've been trying to keep track of my credit score, but every time I check it, the number seems different depending on where I look. One app says my score is high, another says it's average, and my bank says something else entirely. Where can I find the most accurate credit score? I don't want to get caught off guard the next time I apply for a loan or a credit card. Thanks, Score-Seeking Sam.
That's a great question, Sam. Credit scores can be confusing because there's no single real credit score. Different lenders use different scoring models, with the most common being FICO and Vantage Score. Even within those, there are multiple versions tailored for specific purposes, like mortgages or credit cards.
If you want the score most lenders are likely to use, focus on your FICO score. You can often access it through your bank, your credit card company, or services like MyFICO. Additionally, make sure to check your credit report at annualcreditreport.com to stay informed on what's impacting your score.
The key is to stay consistent. Pick one reliable source and track your numbers over time, even if they vary.
Here be your key takeaways, mateys. Credit scores are like treasure maps for lenders. They help lenders decide how risky it is to lend you money by using factors like payment history and credit utilization. But remember, not all treasure maps are the same. FICO and Vantage Score are two common types, and each lender may use a different version.
Wait, what are credit scores?
But why do scores matter? A strong credit score opens doors to financial treasures, from lower interest rates on loans to easier approvals for renting an apartment. Good credit can save you money and create opportunities. Poor credit, on the other hand, can be like a leaky ship holding you back from your goals. Now, how can you keep your score healthy? Protect your credit like a chest of gold.
I protect my score with a booby trap.
Pay your bills on time, keep your credit card balances low, and avoid too many hard inquiries. Regularly check your credit report for errors. It's like scanning for hidden traps on your treasure map. Staying consistent will keep your scores shipshape and ready for any financial adventure.
All right, crew, here's your homework. Check your credit score using a reliable source, such as your bank, credit card issuer, or credit monitoring service. And remember, crew, a good credit score doesn't happen overnight. It's earned through patience, discipline, and the wisdom of a seasoned pirate. Before we sail away, don't forget to join the crew, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the bounty with other potential crew members.
Tune in next time as we navigate more treacherous credit seas and uncover hidden treasures to boost your credit score. Until then,
check your credit report, pay your debts, and don't let anyone touch your booty.
Gather round me hearties, let's talk about credit with a clever guide, a board you'll never regret it. From scores that be sinking to debts that run high, we'll chart a course together, just give it a try. Yo ho, let your credit score soar. With laughter and wisdom, you'll learn so much more. Trim those bad habits, raise your sails to the sky. With Jeremy as captain, we'll watch your scores fly. The tales they will tell of the debts that is there. Like debt's just a friend, but we know it's a scare. With budgeting tricks and a jolly good cheer, you'll sail through the waters with nothing to fear. Yo ho, let your credit score soar. With laughter and wisdom, you'll learn so much more. Trim those bad habits, raise your sails to the sky. With Jeremy as captain, we'll watch your scores fly. The tales they will tell of the debts that is there. Like debt's just a friend, but we know it's a scare. With budgeting tricks and a jolly good cheer, you'll sail through the waters with nothing to fear. Yo ho, let your credit score soar. With laughter and wisdom, you'll learn so much more. Trim those bad habits, raise your sails to the sky. With Jeremy as captain, we'll watch your scores fly. We'll watch your scores fly. So if you feel lost in the credit abyss, join in for some laughs, it's a financial bliss. With a wink and a grin, we'll navigate right. Together we'll conquer from morning till night. Yo ho, let your credit score soar. With laughter and wisdom, you'll learn so much more. Trim those bad habits, raise your sails to the sky. With Jeremy as captain, we'll watch your scores fly. So thanks for joining in, we'll see you next week with more jolly tales and the tips that you seek. Remember, good mates, it's all in good fun. With the crew by your side, your journey's just begun.